What's going on, YouTube family? Buddhazan as always, and today we have the Nofap / Semen Retention Ultimate Q&A. In this video, my goal is to give you guys quick and clear answers for all the questions, or for the most popular questions regarding semen retention and Nofap. And I just want to get straight to the point with it because I know I've been gone for a while. I know you guys need some answers and I got them for you. Real quick, because I love you guys so much, if you don't feel like watching this entire video, I do have timestamps in the description. You can go look for a question that you might potentially have wanted answered, and then just click the timestamp and it should take you right to the answer. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so question number one is, why is it that some people can waste their energy every day and seem fine? Also, I enjoyed hearing you speak on women attraction and how it relates to retention. Now, I'm going to answer the second part of this question and another question because somebody already asked a more general question, so we'll get to that. But to deal with the first part of this question, I love this question, and this is why I want to answer it first, because it's one that's very discouraging for a lot of people when they see people accomplishing all their dreams and they're busting as many nuts as they want to, and they wonder, like, how come he can be rich or be successful and bust all the nuts he wants? Well, let me answer that for you. So every human being was born with a connection to an infinite energy source within them. When you were a child, you had a connection to a motor inside of you that was constantly pushing you to drive, create, play, move, have fun, to live, basically. Now, depending on environmental factors, your range of motion, and your genetics through your development, you get locked into a certain cycle of energy. So these people who are busting nuts but still got that go in them, still seem like they have that go in them, that drive in them, it's because their bodies are producing blood and energy at a faster rate than they are losing that energy. That's really all it is. But everyone can get to this point. It's just a lot harder it's a lot harder when you're lower, basically. The lower level of energy you are, the harder it is to break out of it, but we're all capable of doing it. So with that being said, you got people like LeBron and Drake who you're like, oh, they're busting nuts, but they're the best at what they do. But if they stop busting nuts, they would be even 10 times better at it. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter that people are out here being rich and successful already. It means that if they held their seed, they would be so much greater than they already are. But just because they're already accomplishing their dreams, or they look successful in the ways that you deem to be successful, because success is subjective. Success isn't just having money or being famous. Success is being on the path of accomplishing a goal and achieving that goal every day. To me, that's what it means to be successful, is having a goal, having a purpose, and being on the path of accomplishing that and moving forward every single day. So with that being said, I don't care who is busting 25 nuts and still is getting done what they need to be getting done. If they held their seed, they would be way greater, and so will you. And that's the whole point. These people are just, their organs have just not been damaged and sabotaged enough to the point where their bodies are still producing enough energy to keep them going at a higher rate than your body is. All right, so next question. Does being semen retained for a while make it easier to squeeze the perineum muscles for longer, meaning it's more pressurized so it tightens without as much effort? And this will be a sign that the root foundation is becoming stronger? Yes and yes. I don't have to go into depth about this. If you want to know more about the pressurization and the root chakra, go look at my past videos because I already went in depth in that. But just yes and yes. The longer you hold your seed, the easier everything gets. It makes literally everything easier, holding your seed, including squeezing those muscles. It's all about making things easy. The more energy you have, the easier life is. Next question. How to deal with anger and sexual frustration when you're not getting the expected benefits during longer streaks? Good question, because I get the, oh, what do I do with my anger and my aggressiveness and my frustration? You take that shit out on yourself or your craft. You basically feed all of that energy, all of that push, all of that aggression into, you better hit the gym, or if you do yoga, if you're training to be a basketball player or an MMA fighter or whatever you want to do, that's what you do with that aggression. You gotta boss up. You gotta like, basically you gotta turn up on yourself. That's what that aggression is for. Is for you to turn up, for you to act, for you to dominate something. And you need to dominate. If you dominate yourself, it's like you become a self-feeding cycle, just like the infinity loop. It's like the semen is feeding you energy and aggression, and then you take that aggression out and you train your body, you help clean out your organs, you help be healthy, and then that makes you produce even more semen, and then you just become like an infinite producer, and that's the goal. You use the energy and the aggression that the semen retention is giving you, you use it to fuel your ambition, your drive, you put it back into yourself, put it into some type of outlet, of creative outlet, or some type of physical exercise. And as far as getting like disappointed or discouraged because you're not getting the benefits, you're going to get them, but it's going to take a lot longer than even I am realizing. I'm at 200 and something days. I'll be making a video when I hit 222 days. That's a special day for me. But I'm at 200 something days, and I thought I knew a lot back when I was at 90 or 120. I'm at 200 days. It's a whole different fucking ball game. So you guys need to be patient. I understand we all want the benefits, and I understand he got his benefits at 30 days. He got his benefits at fucking 20 days, but it doesn't matter. It's infinite. It's never going to stop. As long as you're holding your seed and you're practicing transmutation techniques, it's never going to stop. You're always going to keep getting more and more energy, and it's going to hit levels that you couldn't even imagine. It's about patience. You've been jacking off for so long. You've been destroying yourself for so long. You don't even, like, doesn't your body deserve for you to be patient just for a little bit? Like, just even if it meant taking a whole year or 2 years off from busting nuts, I feel like your body deserves that. I mean, your body gave you 10 plus years of destroying yourself. So wouldn't it be very righteous of you and very proper of you to at least give your body a year off? Like, you have to be willing to give up pussy to dominate the world. You can either fuck with pussy, you can either chase pussy, or you can dominate the ultimate womb, the ultimate vagina, which is the whole the world. You want to be playing with that pussy. Excuse my language, I know that's kind of vulgar, but I would rather dominate the world. I'd rather make the world my bitch than to chase bitches. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's up to you to have the discipline and the courage to withstand. Quit worrying about when you're gonna bust a nut next. That shit does not matter, and that mentality is weak. You gotta transcend that. Your body deserves for you to take at least a year off from this shit if you really want to tap into this. Because like I said, I'm 200 something days and I'm a whole new fucking man. Next question. Can you go more in depth about how you get magnetism and semen retention? It comes down to your eyes and your scent. Your eyes are always constantly projecting your level of energy. It really is all in the eyes. When you make eye contact, even if she doesn't consciously understand what she's witnessing, her body knows right away. It's like an instant transfer of all the information that's needed for mating when you make eye contact, and that also applies to the scent. When you hold in your seed, you start to activate faculties within you that have to do with sexual attracting and attracting a mate. When you hold your seed and you hit a certain level of energy, you begin to give off hormones and pheromones, and women can smell this. They pick up on this shit and they want you. They're all fucking over you. And if you make eye contact with them, they can see the light in your eyes. Because like I said, you're basically everything that comes in a pair of two is related. So if your testicles are healthier, your kidneys are healthier, your eyes are going to be healthier. And it's just all in the eyes. Everything is in the eyes. Your eyes are literally telling whatever that witnesses your eyes. If they're sensitive enough, they'll be able to know what they're dealing with just from making eye contact. Because we aren't hip to our own animal instincts and how simple life really is, and how basically you don't need to know anyone. Everything that someone is written all over them, and that's what coming to opening your third eye and becoming more. It's really about becoming more sensitive, because the more sensitive you are, the more stuff you can pick up on, and the more you'll know about somebody without them having to open their mouth. You're so sensitive that I can read your eyes, I can read your hands, your posture. I can read these things and know everything about you. I can read your scent and know your state of mood. I might not consciously be able to know, but my body will pick up on it and I'll respond accordingly. That's what I'm trying to say. These are all subconscious things. Semen retention makes you attractive to women on a subconscious level. And the subconscious mind makes up the majority of the mind anyway. So it's a lot more of a cheat code to be subconsciously attractive than it is to be consciously attractive. Next question. Is there any downsides health-wise to doing semen retention for long periods of time, like your sperm becoming weaker and not being able to have a child? Absolutely not. Unless you got some type of medical condition that's already going on or you're highly toxic, there are absolutely no health drawdowns to semen retention. And real quick, let me expel the whole prostate cancer myth, because that's like the biggest thing that irritates my soul about it. It's just like this. Holding your seed does not make you more susceptible to getting prostate cancer. Just like with any cancer, accumulating filth and toxins in your body makes you more susceptible to getting cancer. If I hold in my shit over and over and over, eventually I'm making myself more susceptible to getting colon cancer or some other type of cancer. It's the same thing with semen retention. If your body is toxic, if you're acidic, of course holding in that acidic, toxic semen is gonna increase your likelihood of malfunctions and disease. But if you clean yourself, hydrate, train, empty the toxins from your body and actively take hold of your health, there is absolutely no negatives to withholding your seed. It's your natural state. That's how you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be wasting that energy all the time. So to answer your question, no, there's no health drawdowns. And in fact, good seed bears a good fruit. Good soil bears a good fruit. So if you hold in your seed, you're already giving your child will be so much more advanced and have so much more better footing than the next child. Because if you really think about society, how many children do you think are really born from a retained, fully matured, healthy sperm cell? Do you think any men held their seed for a whole cycle of spermatogenesis, 74 days before they had a child? No, I don't think so. So imagine what type of disciplined, healthy, beautiful beast that you would raise, male or female, if you held your seed and had a child. You're giving your child such a better foundation by doing that. Next question. Do semen retention benefits start to go away and start to feel normal after 100 days? I turn heads wherever I go. That's positive or negative reactions. The light and the darkness, they say. Also, are there any powerful techniques on semen retention to empower the manifestation? So to answer question number one, no. They don't go away. There might be gaps in between before you feel the next upgrade that you're about to get, but it never goes away. Those things that they call flatline, it's just the in-between space. You're going to keep upgrading as long as you're holding the seed. You're going to keep constantly upgrading in your entire life. It never goes away. To answer the second question, real quick, I don't want to go into detail because this video isn't for that. I'll have videos in the future. But if you want to amplify the manifestation that you get from semen retention, a very divine exercise to do is the headstand. Because the whole point of you retaining your seed, the real point is to get that energy from the root to the crown. So turn your ass upside down. It's way better than any type of breathing. The whole point of meditation, of sitting there breathing, looking up, you're trying to cycle the energy up to the heavens, to the crown. The fastest and easiest way to do that is to literally get on your head and let gravity do the work for you. Because your body's so damaged that you're not going to be able to just breathe all of that energy up. You really think that the elites, the enemy that we're up against, would make it so easy that you could just sit there and breathe it up? After all the years of eating the nasty ass food, sitting down and being lazy and living in the society we do, you really think they'd make it that easy? No. So to answer your question, do a headstand. I try to get to about 30 minutes to an hour a day, and you will see the difference between when you do a headstand and go out in public as opposed to you just going out there not having sent any of that energy, all of that energy that you're accumulating. You want to send that up to the higher chakras so it'll be even more powerful in manifesting your thoughts. Next question. Is there a time period for this, or is it forever? And what advice would you give to those who are married? No time period. For me, until I reach the other side, until I actually have a true awakening, a true opening of my third eye, a true dive back into the subconscious reality that we were in as children, I'm not stopping this shit. Like I told you, I'm at 200 plus days. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon because I have transcended the desire to release like that. I don't even want to. I don't want to release my seed like that. I say it's forever because it's your natural state. The only time you need to release your seed is literally when you're trying to make a child. Otherwise, you're just wasting it, straight up. And advice to people who are married, I've been in a relationship for this whole 200+ day retention. So good advice to people who are in relationships, whether you're married, boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, ain't no excuse. This whole 200 days, I've been in a relationship. I know that's hard to believe, but there are techniques and things we can do while we are making love that make it a lot harder for us to ejaculate and a lot easier for us to maintain our rhythm and to maintain our sense of calmness and to control that area. But basically, one of the biggest techniques and the most effective techniques of helping you retain your seed and not feel like you're going to ejaculate while you're having sex is to make sure that your knees are engaged. It's a lot more smart for you to have sex in a squat. That's actually the natural state of humans anyways. But when you're having sex in a squat, when you have your knees engaged, you're basically engaging your whole lower region. And it basically, when you want to ejaculate, it's because usually the posture you're in, you're laying on a bed where you have no support. Your legs aren't even engaged because most likely you're on your knees. Or, you're standing up, which is also an unnatural position for us to be standing up. We're supposed to be in a squat. That's our natural state. So if you squat while you're making love, don't worry. It's not what you think. Actually, most women are attracted to it because they've never made love like that. They've never had a man who's actually squats and gets into that animalistic state while they're making love. But I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. There's a link in the description. Master of Earth, he goes completely into it. But this is what has helped me be able to not ejaculate for 200-something days when I'm having sex. If not every other night, every night, or every 3 nights, I've not ejaculated this whole entire time because I understand that to keep my mind strong and to keep my whole body engaged and to have more control, I have to have my body engaged. And I also recommend maybe having sex on a more sturdier surface like the floor or something that's more sturdy because your skeletal system can't be engaged when you're trying to make love on a soft surface. Doesn't mean you have to be on a hard surface. It just makes it a lot easier. Next question. Please, the Genmo Meridian, $1 million point. Master of Earth talked about it. I want to know your thoughts. I do not recommend it. 3 years ago, when I was first on this stuff, I tried that of pressing that point. You do hold the seed in, but you still spill it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to spill it when you go to the bathroom. And I know some of you are saying, oh, you're just not pressing in the right area. Don't even risk it. Don't even risk it. Because most of, if not all of us, all the wiring is fucked up down there anyway. So the energy is not going to redirect and go anywhere because your wiring's fucked up. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose it in some foamy, bubbly ass pee because you couldn't be disciplined and you wanted to try to wing it. I don't recommend that at all. I do not recommend that. Be patient, strengthen your pelvic floor the natural way, and just be patient and let that area heal. And then you'll be able to experience orgasm and it'll redirect naturally. Let your body figure it out. Don't be trying to force anything. I do not condone or approve or endorse the Genmo Meridian point. I've already had my experience with it. Every time I did it, at least you don't feel like you're losing as much energy, but over time you still realize that you're losing energy. So I don't recommend it. Next question. Most powerful way to transmute energy. I'm not going to go into detail because I have videos coming further, but if I want to give you guys a quick little tip, for me, the most powerful techniques that I have felt the results of this semen retention and energy is to do headstands and to spin. I know that sounds crazy, but spinning, rotating generates energy. Everything in the galaxy is spinning. The galaxy itself is spinning. That's how a lot of these generators that we use to power our reality, they function off of spin, off of spiral, off of something turning. Spinning and doing headstands have been, for me, some of the most powerful transmutation techniques for helping distribute this energy all throughout your body and increasing the levels of manifestation. Next question. I just relapsed in my dream, but when I woke up, there wasn't any fluid. What does that mean? So from my experience, you might lose a little energy when you go to the bathroom, but you basically pretty much didn't get set back at all. This has happened to me before. Well, I've had a wet dream, but when I woke up, nothing came out, but I know I felt the orgasm. You might, like I said, you might lose a little bit of that fluid in your urine, but this is not going to set you back at all. You'll be fine. Next question. How do you speak with such conviction about Nofap, as if you know it's all true? You once said something along the lines of, except that you don't know anything at all. Can you see how some people may think this is a placebo? The human mind is powerful, is very powerful. Completely understand. And the reason that I'm able to speak of semen retention with so much conviction, because I literally live it. And I know what my life was like before. Now, I know the human mind is very powerful, but if people can believe that we can just make our mind just assume that something is working so it works, why can't we believe that it's actually doing that as well? I feel like it's harder to believe that it's placebo than to believe that having millions and billions of little motors down there generating heat is giving us more energy. I think it's harder to believe in placebo. I know it's real because I've been doing this over and over. I've been falling off, getting back on, falling off, and I'm a completely different person when I have that seed in me. It's not even a thinking thing. It's literally just a energy that's always present that I can feel. That's why I can speak with so much conviction. And when I said you must admit that you don't know nothing at all, that's the first step. Admitting that you don't know nothing at all is breaking away from the conditioning that school and the limitations that school and the world and your parents tried to give you. That's admitting that you don't know anything. Because when I thought that I knew shit, I didn't think semen meant anything because I was taught that it didn't mean anything. That's what I mean by getting rid of or accepting that you don't know. That's the first step. We already passed that. We already accepted that what they told us was a lie and that we don't know shit. Now we know some shit, and we know that holding your seed will change your life. I don't care who you are. Next question. How should a man go about having sex with a female? Example, how frequently, what methods, mindset, etc. So this might sound hypocritical of me, but I have literally been putting in so much work. I know that I can have sex. I know that I'm not going to ejaculate. But if you haven't been training your kidneys and your organs to really be stronger so you don't feel like you're going to nut in 2 seconds, I really recommend that you just try to abstain from having sex as much as possible until you've trained yourself to a state where you're able to participate in that act and you don't feel like you're going to bust right away. It's not just from holding the seed. It's also because those you have to learn how to train your internal organs, and a lot to do with premature ejaculation has to do with the kidneys and the weakness of the kidneys. And I'll be dropping methods on how to train your kidneys. But for now, I just recommend avoiding having sex as much as possible until you're able to learn how to be disciplined and learn how to make it through that process without wasting that energy. Next question. What is the most profound, noticeable benefit you've noticed on your semen retention streaks? Man, that's a loaded question because there's so many profound things. It's really infinite. But if I have to say what my favorite one is, the one that brings me the most joy, okay, I'll give you a top 3. My top 3, 1 is just the pure energy. 2 is the aggression and the not giving a fuck. I love that. I love just feeling like I don't care how I come across to anybody. Fuck whoever. I don't care. I love that. So the aggression, the pure energy, but I'd have to say out of these three, my top 1 is the fact that when you basically start to transcend duality. I start to see how everything is connected in everything, basically. I see how left is connected to right. I don't just see left or right. I don't just see Democrat or Republican. I don't just see black or white. I see how everything is connected. You start to get that middle, that third eye vision. And that's all it really means. Having a third eye open just means you're able to see how everything is related. It's about transcending the duality of karma. You don't want to be left or right. You want to be in the middle, and you have to have a certain amount of energy to be able to see both sides. Otherwise you'll be one-sided. You'll be right-handed. You'll be you'll have a stronger right hand or a stronger right eye. The goal is to balance everything and to be in a state of equilibrium so you can see how God is in everything. And I think semen retention, the best benefit has been it increases my ability to see the oneness in every situation and to be able to connect the dots in everything that I experience. It's like I'm learning from myself just from being able to connect everything. So that's my favorite benefit. Next question. I'm at about 40 days and my appetite has gone down these past 2 to 3 days. Is that normal? I'm still eating food, but not as much as I used to. My man, you should be celebrating. I don't want to get into it in this video, but food is like one of the main causes from our disconnection from our spirituality, because your connection to your spirit and your soul has a lot to do with your gut, and food going down there. A lot of the agenda, people think that food, they're just trying to kill us. Like, first of all, no. Why would they be trying to kill their sheep? Like, what point would the elites serve if there wasn't like a whole bunch of sheep for them to manipulate? So they're not necessarily trying to kill you. They're just trying to dumb you down and get you at a low enough state of energy and consciousness to where you can't do anything but be a sheep in their system. But you should be celebrating. And this is natural. This is natural for me. I eat 1 meal a day, but Honestly, there's more days where I just don't eat a meal, where I just snack, and I'm perfectly fine. As you can see, I got plenty of energy. So I honestly think that this is a good thing, and it's something that you should look forward to, and it's something you should embrace. If you haven't fasted, then you haven't even seen the other side of life. You have no idea what your body is even capable of feeling like. If you haven't fasted for at least 3 days, I recommend you go make that your number one priority, because there's a whole nother side to life, and there's a whole nother side to your body. But to keep it short and simple, yes, that's a good thing, and you should be celebrating that. You do not want to be eating all the time, and you do not want to be eating 3 meals a day. Next question. What's the best/fastest way to recover from a relapse? Sunlight, 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 sunlight. I don't care if it's winter, if you got to bundle up in 6 million layers of clothes. Sunlight, sunlight, sunlight. That is the fastest way to get your energy back and to recover from a relapse. And the fastest way to get benefits, like to accumulate more energy, sunlight. Because you got to understand, when you eat food and when you get sunlight, they're all basically getting turned into the same thing. Because food is just like condensed sunlight. Like food, somehow, some way, whether it was an animal that ate a plant that was eating sunlight or whatever, food somehow, some way, everything comes from the sun. Everything comes from sunlight. So go get it directly. And the good thing about the sunlight is when you eat food, it has to go through that whole process of until it's turned into semen. But when you eat sunlight, it's a very quick conversion from converting sunlight to seed energy. It's very quick. So sunlight, sunlight, sunlight. Get as much as you can. If you ever heard of sun gazing, do your research, because it's a very controversial subject. I'll just tell you now, I've been sun gazing for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, whenever it's possible. I still have a job. I drive. I be on the computer. I be on my phone. I can see perfectly fine. You got to do it right. If you went to a gym and you fucking tried to lift 300 pounds right away, like people would say the gym isn't necessarily like dangerous. Anybody can be in the gym, but if you try to lift 300 pounds right away, you might break something. It's the same with sun gazing. You have to take it step by step, and you have to build up. I'll be making videos on that, but if you're interested in that, just go look on YouTube. There's tons of videos on it. Sunlight, 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 especially sun gazing. That will help you recover a lot of that energy that you lost. Next question. You talked about how it helped your hair. Can you please elaborate on that? Does it stop thinning? And if so, how long does it take? I don't know how long it's going to take for you specifically or anybody else watching this, because our bodies are all in different states. But what I've noticed is, in my opinion, the true reasoning for hair loss or hair thinning, or your hair only growing to a certain length and not really going past that, I've realized that basically, if you don't have enough blood to support, if you don't have enough blood reaching your extremities, basically, or your head specifically, then your hair will not it'll not be able to sustain the nourishment it needs to grow and flourish. And it's really that simple. I don't care about science telling, it's because you start producing this chemical and this chemical inhibits your hair from growing. It ain't even about none of that shit. It's about how much blood, your blood capacity. If you're balding or if you're going bald, you literally don't have enough blood to spare to your scalp. Your body has to use all of the available blood just to survive and stay alive. Your cup is basically, you don't have enough fluid in the cup to grow your hair, basically. And it's as simple as that. If you go look at bald people, there's a reason that the hair only goes to around right here. It's because the blood literally cannot finish a full circulation cycle because you don't have enough. Semen retention and the training techniques that Master of Earth presents on his YouTube and that I'll be teaching on my YouTube, these all increase your capacity to hold blood, because blood and fluid and water, that's energy. That's the energy of your body. So the greater your capacity to hold fluid, to hold blood, the greater your capacity to hold energy. So we're going to be teaching you guys how to increase your level of energy, which basically just means increasing your capacity to hold blood and to hold fluid. Next question. There's a lot of people in the semen retention / Nofap community that believe that we are exposed to porn and other sexual triggers so that we can waste our energy and potential. My question's below. My question is, what is it that they keep us from achieving? Why is it so important for the elites or whoever they are to keep us in a low energetic state? This is such a great question. You pretty much set me up to tackle a lot of people's doubts in this shit. The reason that sexuality is so pushed, okay, I'm not making this a gender thing, all right, but it is what it is. Men do not understand how powerful semen really is. Like I said in my past video about women attraction, Men, we set the tone. I don't give a fuck about none of this feminist shit. We are the trend. We set the tone. If you do not have your seed in you, you do not have your energy in you. If you don't have your energy in you, you're not setting no tone. The reason that they're trying to drain men specifically is because when you take men out of the picture, it's like basically when you take the programmer out of the software, you can put whatever program or whatever code in it you want, and it can be your program now. You have to edit the code of the software. Men, we're the code of we're the code of the hardware, or we're the software of the hardware, basically. Like we're the programmers of this life, of this game. So if you want to program your own reality, if an evil force or if an entity or if the elites want to program their perverted reality, they have to take the original programmer out of the picture. So the only way to do that is to lessen their energy. That's why men are under more attack. That's why there's higher suicide rates when it comes to men. I'm not saying men are perfect, but we're under a lot more spiritual attack than we even realize. And it's because we are the programmers. And for this fucking society to exist, we have to be kept dumb, and we have to be kept ignorant of our energy and our ability to influence reality based off our energetic level. We have to be kept thinking that everything in the world is outside of our control and that we don't have any influence on this and that it's out of our hands. The only way to do that is to keep our energy low, because any man that has been doing semen retention knows damn well when you hold that energy, you influence your reality directly, and things come to you. You become attractive, and it becomes effortless. They have to keep that they have to keep us from realizing what we truly are. We're not just these things that evolved with monkeys or shared a common ancestor with monkeys. We are so much more than what we think we are. And they don't want, specifically men, to figure that out. Because if there's going to be a huge change that's in the advancement of spirituality and in the advancement of what God has, yes, women will be involved in this. But because men are primarily responsible for fucking it up in the first place, men are also going to be responsible for putting it back together. And that starts with your energy, and they want to keep your energy low, so you can't even put your life together. So how the hell are you gonna make an imprint on the world when your energy's so low? All you can do is jack off, watch porn, sit in the house, go to work, smoke, and do things that'll never really change the world. Next question. My friend did Nofap for a month and he didn't feel any different. How is this possible? So either your friend is already functioning at a high level of energy and it's gonna take longer for him to realize it, or your friend's the anatomy of his genitals is so fucked up or just so messed up that it's gonna take a longer time for him to realize the benefits. It's not gonna work in a month, because some people are under extreme cases and some people are so healthy that it's gonna take a little bit longer for them to realize that they're at a higher level of energy, or for them to actually be at a higher level of energy because they're already so high. Either way, the answer is time. It still takes more time. I'm realizing that 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days really ain't shit. Like I said, I'm at 200 days. This shit is a whole new playing field. It's a whole new game, and I'll be going into detail when I drop my 200 plus day video. But it's all about timing, and it's just going to take longer for more people. So don't expect benefits at 30, 60, 90, nothing. Just hold your seed, and everything will come to you in time if you have the discipline to be patient. Only then will you be gifted with the rewards and the secret, this big secret that isn't even really a secret or shouldn't be a secret, of the unlimited energy that we truly have. But it takes time. It takes time, and then you will be gifted with that. I don't care if your friend does it for 90 days and doesn't experience any benefits. Keep doing it. Eventually, you will realize that you're a different person and that things aren't the same. So with all that being said, everybody, I answered all the questions that I felt would answer the majority of all the questions that everyone has. I hope that I hit the nail on the head for a lot of people. I'll be dropping a lot more videos in the next upcoming weeks because shit is getting crazy out here, and we need our spiritual leaders to be at the forefront, and I consider myself to be one of those. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm equipping you guys with all the knowledge and the information you need to hold it down through these times of wickedness and just fucking craziness, because that's really all 2020 has just been, a whole bunch of craziness. So stay tuned. I'll be dropping some more heat. I hope I answered a lot of you guys' questions. And if you like the song that you've been hearing in the background, please go support my brothers Groovy Q or BTL Keys, BTL Skinny P. They just dropped a new tape called Spectrum 2. It's hot as fuck. If you're tired of hearing mumble rap or Detroit trap music, don't get me wrong, I fuck with that shit, but I don't want to hear it all the time. If you want to hear some niggas rapping with a purpose and really just saying something, go download Spectrum 2 or stream Spectrum 2. It's available on all platforms. And with all that being said, I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Much love.
Head in the sky, I move with the sun. I love you, pray to God to know that you won. Black and beat the odds, I already won. But I thought that I was chance to I slide around.
On my side of town, niggas making goat moves. Tryna fix the whole world with this Pro Tools. And I've been on the set, it wasn't no movie. We was posted up, a nigga couldn't move me. This ain't nothing new, I'm closer to a vet.